the next item we'll be talking about, the next data type is the list. What are the methods you can carry out with a list? So you say, let's specify our list. Fruits, we have apple, mango, pear, cherry, strawberry, grape. Same as the string data type. To check the length of items in your string, in your list, you use the length function, but this time it counts the number of, in a list you separate your items using commas, so it counts how many items is in your list. So if I print out length of fruit, it returns 6 because in my fruit I have how many items? I have apple, mango, pear, cherry, strawberry, and grape. So we have 6 fruits inside fruit. That's 6 items inside fruits. So if I print length, it returns 6. Same with a string. You can also check if something is in something. So you could say it's cherry in fruits, so it returns true. It's pineapple in fruit. It checks if pineapple is not in fruit, it returns as false. Same with it's not. So you could index your list that is called this particular item. Also, you could change the value of an index. So before, if I have my fruit as apple, mango, pear, cherry, strawberry, and grape. So if I call on my index 3, what do I have in index 3? Index 3 would be cherry, right? So if I say, okay, let me change what is in my index 3. So if I say index, so fruits using the square bracket 3 and specify something new, it changes what is originally in that place, in that position. So if I say, if I print out fruits now, you say that my cherry has now been replaced with carrots. I hope you understand. So you could change items in a list using the index, so that you are creating a new item. So you call the index and specify the new item you want to replace that with. Also slice. Remember what I talked about slicing in indexing. So you use your start, your column, and your stop. It returns. So you also change using that slicing. So we say from this to this, you give it a list of items you want to change it with. Yeah. Something you should also know is if you are using the slicing to change variables, to change items in the list, the length of things you're replacing should correspond to the length of things you are given. Because if you don't, you see what's happening with this. If I say fruit 4, so I'm changing from the 4th item, and that's supposed to be like 2 items, but I'm giving it just 1. So you definitely have to ensure that the number of things you're replacing should be the number of things you are giving it to. So I can't say I want to change from 4 to the end, and that's about 2 items, and I'm just specifying only 1 string. That would be a problem. So the next item, what we'll talk about is how to add things to so I already have a list. So how do I add items to a list? How do I add items to a list? So if I specify, so the first method is to use insert.insert. So with insert, you call on the index you want to add and the item you want to add. So this way you're not replacing anything. So you're just adding things to your list. So I could say my fruit.insert 1. So what was in the position of 1 before? Mango. So if I say my fruit.insert 1, carrot, so I want to add carrot to the first index, right? So if I print it out, you now see that what's there will be apple, carrot, mango. So mango has shifted to the 2nd index, right? So you could use insert. So you specify the index and you specify the item you want to add. You could also use append. The .append kind of adds item to the last position in the list. So before we have this, so if I say fruits.append green, so green is added to the last position, so it doesn't change any position, so just add. So append changes what we insert. You specify the position you want it to. The next way to add items to a list is to extend. So with extend, you are including another list. So with append and insert, you are using a string it could be a string or an integer inside an existing list. But with extend, you are including another list. So you put your list.extend and you give it the new list you want to add. So it just adds. So it's still the same as adding 2 lists. So maybe this list plus this list. So with extend, it kind of extends that. Then to remove items from a list, you use the .remove function. So if I say fruits.remove, you call on the string you want to remove. So my list so it will be fruit.remove green. So if I print out fruits for now, green is no longer there. With all these functions in a list, you don't need to specify the variable. Remember, in string we had to specify equals to, but with list it just carries out, so you don't need it carries it out on the list itself. So if I say dot append, I don't need to say fruits is equals to this dot append, just fruits dot append. It changes it originally, so you should know that difference. So we talked about remove, using the remove function. You could also use the pop. With pop, you are using the index. So with remove, you are calling the item itself, but with pop, you are removing the index. So if I say fruit dot pop, so what's the fourth item on my list is called cherry. So if I say fruit dot pop 4, you see that if I print out fruit now, cherry is no longer there because cherry has been popped out. Then you could also sort your list, so alphabetical order. So if I specify my list was to apple, mango, pear, cherry, strawberry, and grape, by the time I sort, you see that it has returned it to apple, cherry, grape, so it sorts it in alphabetical order. I could also specify reverse equals true, so if I want it to be the reverse order, by the time I print out fruits again, it has gone, so it speaks from the back, so strawberry, pear, mango, grape. Clear all your items in your list, you use the dot clear function. So you say fruit dot clear, it removes all. So by the time I print fruit, it's an empty list. Then to delete the list entirely, just say delete, del, then fruits, it removes everything. By the time I call fruit, it said fruit is not defined because fruit has been deleted. So this does not only work for lists, you can delete any item using the D. So by the time you delete any variable, use the del, call the variable name, and that variable has been deleted from your notebook. So we talked about your length function, we've talked about indexing, replacing based on index, we've talked about sorting your lists, we've talked about appending, inserting, extending, deleting, removing. We've talked about removing, popping. So you could just go through. We've talked about most of the things you could do with a list. I hope you're able to follow through and you understand. If you have any question, also put that in the comment section. See you on the next one.